There we go. Brumbies, Hurricanes. Sorry, folks. Kickoff just happened. 20 seconds in. Afternoon game. Decent crowd over there in Canberra. Tama, man. Chubro go the Canes. I've got the right gear on today, man. Plus, it just fits better than the Brumbies gear, which is a wee bit tight. Beautiful looking day. On the other side of the Tassie. We will see how this one goes. Can the Brumbies make it 3 Aussie wins? Darmundi, mate, how's it? D'Anthony says to no cards. I'll drink to that. Ducks Quack Brown, how's it going? My missus is just taking the kids for a wee walk, so life is good. I was playing with the kids prior to that. Don't want to make you have the idea that I was neglecting my children. We were playing some catching game with a coaster of all things. Up the Canes, Starleo, mate. We'll see how your boys go in this one. Up against the best of what the Aussies have got. A minute and a half in. I'm at 1:30 on the clock right about now. Nelson, mate, how's it? All Canes at the minute. 7 phases. There goes the bus. Whoa. Welcome back, Tom Banks. Hope the Canes can challenge for the title, Anthony. We'll see. They've been off and on. They can certainly beat anybody, but they can lose games as well. Bit of a mixed bag. Forward pass. But they're back for an advantage. It's been all Canes. They're going to opt for the posts. Nice for takeaways. Let's go Canes. Is that your second team? Or do you even have a second team? Jack Cooney says, the only reason I'm awake is because of the Katie Taylor fight. I don't know what that means. 5 a.m. in Ireland. Is that a UFC thing or what? That stadium looks its age in daylight, says Richard. I can't say that I noticed. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Eden Park's a bit like that. Boxing, okay. I can't say I follow boxing at all. As I probably just outed myself with. True Blue, fair enough. Only team to beat the Blues and the only team to lose to Moana Pacifica sums up the Canes pretty well. That's fair, mate. That's your team. You never know what you're going to get. Midnight on the east coast of the US. Commitment, Gus. Good commitment. Canberra Raiders play there at night because it doesn't look as bad. I'll have to go there one of these days. I've never been to Canberra. I've heard it's pretty chilly, which is not. Us Kiwis like to head to Queensland. What's Conor McGregor been fighting about on Twitter, Jack, mate? Fair weather rugby fan Keith, mate. Swarming Martin Ono over in the MLR. Don't blame them. He's a rock star. That's awesome, though. That's the cool thing. You can do that in the MLR. Right, what can the Brumbies do here? 6 phases. That's some real slow ball. Nick White with the run. Look at that mustache go. Back for the penalty. Surely the Brumbies opt for 3 as well. Yeah, Nick White with the wee run and the build-up. Good stuff. Yeah, straight in front. They have to opt for 3. It's going to be 3 points apiece, folks. Who are we picking for this one anyway? Has anyone got the Canes away from home? I feel like the split's going to be pretty even between both. I can't actually remember who I picked. What's in Canberra, Richard? Yeah, that's a good question. Apart from being the nation's capital and the parliament, I'm not sure. Supposedly they got good coffee, but Melbourne says the same thing, so I don't know. Hart says the Canes. Brain says it's pretty much 50-50. What do the bookies got? I'm going to wonder. Oh, it's out on the full from the restart. Have a look at the bookies live odds. Why is it not on the front page? There we go. Oh, the Canes are favourites at the moment by a point. Who's going to win the Ireland versus New Zealand series, Jack? I mean, I've got to back the Kiwis at home. I think if Ireland can get a test, they've never done that before, so that would be pretty successful. Not many teams come here and beat us. Do you expect any new disciplinary rule changes this year? God, I hope they just don't change any laws for, I don't know, a good year. Just leave the bloody laws alone for a while. Let things settle in. I feel like they're always tinkering. Sinead, mate, what are you up to? Why aren't you watching the game? You out and about? It's 3 apiece. Canes mucked up their restart, so they've given the Brumbies another chance to attack. But it's going to be back for an advantage. So probably another Brumbies shot at goal, I would imagine. Not familiar with Southern Rugby. Who is each team's star player? Who's the star player on the Brumbies that's playing? Nick White is one of them. Their halfback. One of the 2 current kind of starting halfbacks. They've got the Wallabies fullback in Tom Banks. They've got one of the competition's top try scorers on the wing in Tom Wright. How about the forwards? I don't think Alalato was playing. Pete Samu. Gregan and Larkham, Richard, a long time ago, yeah. For the Canes, it's the likes of Geordie Barrett, Artie Savia, a couple All Blacks. Artie for the Canes, or Geordie says, you know, you and me are pretty much thinking the same, on the same page. It's It's 6-3 now because the Brumbies did indeed kick that penalty. First lead change. No more tinkering with the laws. Yeah. I sometimes feel like, I don't know, have you ever like tried to tinker with a TV or something to get the signal right? And you're like putting cables in, putting cables out, or like adjusting the frequency to try and get it right? Like that requires a little bit of patience, right? You do the bit of tinkering and then you like leave it, still not quite right. You do a bit more. I feel like rugby is like, keep changing before they get to have a look and go, okay, actually, here's what we need to think about. They just are in a constant state of change, so you never really get to see the results before you change again. I don't know. All right, there you go, Simon. Let me know how that goes. I swear I didn't touch it. Might have bumped it. Caleb Clark wants to go and play league. Yeah, I tend not to worry about those stories. I think that's contract negotiation. TJ said the same thing. Thank you, Simon. I swear the microphone's in the same spot as last night, and so am I, but I don't know. I might have bumped the setting at the back when I moved it. It's usually sitting on that thing over there. Janae gets my analogy, but younger viewers probably never had to change frequency on a TV. That's true. That's true. I need to think of something a bit more modern. Doesn't Artie and TJ want to go play league? I know. I swear these guys do this to get more money out of New Zealand rugby. That's all I see it as. I'm skeptical. It's typically low, to be honest. Okay, fair enough. Should put it in the frame and closer. No one really cares if they can see the microphone. It's only... like, I can touch it. It's not even an arm's length from me. Is that not close enough? I don't know these things. You have to educate me, Simon. Next time I come to China, you can show me your studio, if you're still there. What pays more, the NRL or the union? I would imagine the top union guys are on more than the top league guys, but I could be mistaken. But there's only a handful of guys on the top All Blacks contract. The guys in the $1 million territory. Oh, Tom Wright tried to force that pass. League, no one cares, Trent. Some people care. Some people care a lot. As close as possible so you can lick it. Goodness gracious me. I'd have to lean forward to be able to lick it. I'm going to tell you that much. If the New Zealand Rugby Union lose Artie, you'll lose so much faith in them. They won't let Artie go, surely. Although after the World Cup is when you see all the guys leave, basically. Yeah. How old is Artie anyway? Is he late 20s? No ASMR rugby, please. Yeah, Gus, no plans on that. Artie's 28, right. So, yeah, fair enough. I mean, if Artie Xavier decided after the World Cup, when he'll be 29, that he doesn't want to stick around for another World Cup when he's 33, you couldn't blame him. We could do a Sonny Bill, go play league for 2 years and then try and come back to Union, but loose forwards are pretty competitive positions. Another penalty. The Canes are under the pump, folks. I don't know if I'd like to see the territory stats. Brumbies are now the favourites with the bookies by half a point. TMO is going to have a look at something. Artie has another cycle in him, surely. Oh, he definitely does. It's whether he wants to go for it. Territory, according to that, it's only 50-50. Trent. Goodness gracious me. Difference. Rugby, every metre is earned. League, every metre is given. Certainly the first 10, right? Cheers, man. Appreciate that. You're a gent. Tough times these days with inflation, so very kind of you, mate. One of these days we're going to sit down and live stream some league. We've talked about it. Here's this clean out. Oh, it's going to be a yellow card for a shoulder-to-shoulder clean out on Nick White. Bro, it's tight. Who said no cards? Was it you, Anthony? Goodness me. Junaid, we're at 16-18. They're looking at foul play on Nick White. Shoulder to shoulder. Yeah. It's going to be a yellow card. State of Origin would be a good match to stream Darramundi. Actually, yeah, when State of Origin usually played? I have no idea. Shoulder charge. So Sangster is off. Dirtiest player in Super Rugby Pacific at the moment. Who's the dirtiest? Good question. It's in the middle of the season, Richard. Okay, so State of Origin can't be that far away. We're already a good, 5 or 6 rounds into league? 7? No one cares. League sucks, says Trent. Your donation came through in Aussie dollars. You guys are supposed to be the home of league. Eighth of June, 26th and 13th of July. Okay, maybe the first one. Who's the dumbest? Oh, man. That Saders player was pretty dumb. Sinead, you actually read my mind. I was thinking about that. Morgan Tuanuri on commentary is the only one who ever says any cards are justified pretty much. Sean Maloney was giving Nick White grief about a bit of a Hollywood, but then Morgan Tuinui said he's lucky to get yellow. Sinburn seems fair enough, says Kai. It was unnecessary, eh? Why do that? Why do that? Think of the Simple Kai? Yeah, I mean, unnecessary, bro. Why do that, eh? Just rap. I know he's a halfback, so he's so tempting, right? Blood mist comes down, red mist in your eyes. You want to smash a halfback? Union's more global. Yes, Sammy, mate, you're right. Like State of Origin, I think, is pretty much the epitome of league, right? Like that's the best game you'll probably see. I don't know how good the competitions are up in the UK, but I know a lot of good players play in State of Origin. Scott Barrett gets carded a lot. Yeah, actually, mate. What's his face? Scott Robertson said basically he needs to be better, which is more than he usually says about his own players. More cards this round than Crusaders won titles. There have been a fair few cards, unfortunately. Yeah. Randy, mate, how's it going? Reveling in the demise of the Crusaders, are we? Yeah, they got lost to the Tars. Last few takeaways, can't stand Justin Harrison. He's probably not my favourite commentator either, mate. We might be, Randy, but we struggled against the Force, man. We struggled big time. Glad common sense prevailed and he got a yellow instead of a red. Yeah, that one, the first contact didn't seem to come through his head, so yeah, yellow's fine. Was drawn to Union due to the international game being much more prevalent in comparison to League Darmundi. Yeah, that's pretty fair. I mean, everyone gets interested in the World Cup. People who don't even give a monkeys about rugby union will still follow the World Cup very loosely. So, yeah, the international game with union is a big part of it. But Super Rugby certainly, as a competition, probably isn't as well run as the NRL. But you're talking about a competition which is all in one country for the most part, apart from the Warriors. Like having followed Super Rugby, the Premiership and the URC this year, the Premiership in England has gone along pretty bloody smoothly. Just because it's all in England. They don't have to worry about travel bans or, I don't know, any other shenanigans, like just travel time, jet lag, time differences. They don't worry about any of that nonsense. Taro, man, how's it going in Buenos Aires? I was actually tempted to put my Juarez jersey on today, but I thought it might be a bit random. We do have some trivia, Randy. We will do that at halftime. Or I suppose we could do it as they line up a freaking penalty. Maybe next time. And hopefully, hopefully Gazza will send us some halftime updates as well. If you're not watching, Geordie Barrett's lining up a long kick inside his own half. Basically only 3 nations play league. Yeah, it's New Zealand, Australia and Great Britain, right, at the World Cup for league. So it's not much of a World Cup. And he's missed it. I mean, the Rugby Union World Cup has only been won by a handful of teams as well, but at least there were genuinely a lot of teams that, on their day, could knock over anybody. At least that 1 minute of the Canes yellow card time. When was the last time an Aussie side beat the top Kiwi side in the second half in extra time? What? In extra time? Out on the full year. Nick White got a bit too much on that one. Super Rugby shits on the NRL. NRL is irrelevant. I don't follow it enough to know, but I know that they do. I know that they do the local rivalries and stuff pretty well. Maybe the AFL is similar. Jacob, bro, doing good. Thank you, brother. I hope you are well as well, man. Sitting down and watch this one. Still no tries yet, but we'll get there. Gus says, league's not catching on at all in the US, though in some ways it's more like American football. It does have the stop-start thing like American football, I suppose. I have a feeling that Trent may not like league. I get the same feeling, mate. I get the same feeling. TMO's going to have a look at this. What happened? Uh-oh, might be some cynical play at the breakdown. Outside of Australia, no one cares about League Trent. That's parts of England, but more or less true. Parts of New Zealand, parts of England, but yeah. TJ picks it up. Oh no, he's going to the bin. He's definitely going to the bin for that one. Hollywood is in rainy Winnipeg, mate. How's it going, brother? John's in Tokyo. Bro, we got an international audience today, don't we? Been a good weekend for rugby, both north and south. The equator, some close games. And up at Zebra, man, they got the job done over the Dragons. First win after about 15 attempts this season. Patrick, mate, we got a Pennsylvanian here as well. Bro, we're good. Hope you're going well, man. My kids are out with my missus for a walk. Jerome Brown's just gone to the bin. We will have about 1 minute of 14 on 14, and then it'll be the Brumbies' turn to be a man down. Scotland for Sam. Is anybody in New Zealand apart from Junaid? Oh, sorry, Junaid. Jerome Brown, as Kai said, was on the ground at the ruck. And as TJ Perino was trying to get the ball out to pass it, he just slapped it. Sorry, I forgot you're not watching, man. So, yeah, he shouldn't be touching the ball if he's still part of the ruck. Cynical play and pinged. Binned. Hoping for Gaza Hollywood. Yeah, mate, sorry. He didn't fancy travelling today, but I'm hoping for a halftime update. If you can wait about 15 minutes. Umanga Jensen looks to have gone over the try line, but there's a million bodies in there. Can the ref see a ball on the ground? I would doubt it. You can't see much of nothing there. Oh, yeah, there it is, next to the post. That should be a try then. He's going to give a try. Alright, it's going to be a try. Not watching either play-by-play commentary. Simon, unfortunately, I do talk in bollocks, but I don't do play-by-play commentary. The Kiwi lads and Forever Sports and a few other people do pretty good jobs of that. Too high intensity for me. Zebra 1. Yes, my daughter will be most chuffed because she likes the colourful Zebra logo. Yeah, right, Sinead. Wow, man. The Canes are in the lead. 14 on 14 period, which was only like 40 odd seconds, sees the Canes take it out. Richard reckons the Canes are going to get this done. Yeah, neither side has been at their optimum thus far. Play-by-play is pretty intense. I don't know how the Kiwi lads does it. Bro, that guy, he's a much younger man than I, so I get the feeling that's part of where his energy comes from. But yeah, he is proper skilled. Hopefully he gets a gig one of these days, eh? Like, maybe gone are the days where you have to get like a journalism degree or be a former player to be any kind of commentator. Like, if you can come, if he gets a big enough audience over time, you know, he may be able to say that to like Sky. Look, oh, I've got however many fans following me. I've been doing this for years. Give me a gig. Start with some, I don't know, high school. Get on with the Mitre 10 Cup or, you know, Bunnings NPC and then, yeah, work your way up. Why not? Patrick, man, my Blues are going all right. Although every game they win, I still find a reason to think there's a bit of doubt, eh? Like, they certainly did not put the force away. But every game this weekend has been a nail-biter, so maybe I should just feel that the competition's closer. But, well done by the Canes there at the breakdown. Richard's predictions are coming true. I don't think Canberra does have an AFL team, does it? They got the Canberra Raiders and the ACT Brumbies. I don't think they have any other pro sports teams, but I could be mistaken. James, man, kia ora, how are you doing, brother? It's a 1-pointer after 29 and 15 seconds. But our man Richard has just predicted the Canes for the win, and they certainly have the momentum as the Brumbies are still a man down for the next 6 minutes. And yes, Junaid, mate, I agree. Umaga Jensen's looking pretty tidy. Oh, but the Brumbies turn for a turnover. Goodness me. Hanging on. Jacob, mate, I am in Auckland. So I have been to Wellington a couple of times. Not a big fan of the stadium down there being the wrong shape for rugby. Much prefer Hamilton, to be honest. But yeah, I figured I'd put the Canes jersey on for this game. Canes have knocked it on. Been a minute, finished up your degree, so finally got some good news back on the stream. Good man, James. That's a big effort. It's been a long time since I finished my degree, but I vaguely remember it was a pain in the backside, so good on you. Well done. Time to find a job, eh? The cake tin, Richard, yes. If you have a sideline seat at the cake tin, you're still a good 30, 40 metres from the action because it's the wrong shape. And Dean is right. The Canes are all over them at the moment. The Brumbies just need to ride out this next 4.5 minutes and try not to concede any more points. Pineapple sushi, Anthony. That's random. No. Can't say I've tried pineapple sushi. Would you say it's an even game or both teams are poor? It's had a few momentum swings, Junaid, but neither team has looked like putting 15 phases with some crisp passes together or some kind of X-Factor move. Yeah, the Canes guys went early there, so that's a bit of a get out of jail. It's only a free kick. The Brumbies scrum again, and they could kill at least another minute on the yellow card. Don't they use the cake tin for cricket? I think so, Richard. Yeah, I think so. And concerts, it's a waterfront city stadium. It's kind of what we need in Auckland, so yeah. It's just not the right shape for rugby, unfortunately. Oh, now the Brumbies have nicked their line-out ball. It's all gone Brumbies. Sinead, there is definitely a theme of pineapples in these streams. I mentioned the pineapple beer in China, right? How'd they go? Good? Nice. Yeah, Kai, they rushed that line out and they paid for it. They've still got... They've just dropped it again. Go, Valtini. Look at him go. Surely not. Bro, who got hands to that? No. No. He didn't get hands to that first. Surely not. Loose ball kicked through Junaid, mate, and with like 4 guys tearing after it, loose forward Rob Valtini, who seemed to be at the head of the pack. Kane's pass. It's just dropped. Muirhead gathers it, pops it. Valtini hacks it through, and he's the man chasing. How the hell is Jackson Garden Bishop that slow? He does make the ground up at the end, but who gets the hand on the ball? Whose hand is it? There's 4 hands, 3 hands going for it. Bro, I think that might be a try. Bro. No. There's like literally 3 hands going for it at the same time. It looks like it's going to be a try. Jackson Garden Bishop, too many meat pies. I think so. Bro. Wow. That's one of the greatest tries this weekend, if not this year, man. That's madness. Valtini hacks it through. Manages to stay ahead of the 2 Canes pursuing players. 3 Canes pursuing players. And then just gets a hand to it before everybody else. Jackson Garden Bishop. We were slow, eh? Yeah, and it was Xavier Numia, the prop, who was also keeping up. So, yeah, bizarre. So, despite the fact they've got a man down, the Brumbies kind of against the run of play from turnover ball. And you take your chances. They make it 16-10. Well done. That may be a candidate for try of the season. Put it up there, man. And it was in the yellow card. Two other players were front rowers. Surely Jackson Garden Bishop should be quicker than that, though. Don't know. You guys all right? Yeah. Okay. For Numia to be second to the ball was pretty awesome. Yeah. So the number 8 wins it. Or is he playing 6 this week? I can't remember. The loose head prop second and Jackson Garden Bishop, the 10, is third. It's not supposed to be how things go. Numia was faster than Garden Bishop. I agree. It's not supposed to be how things go, folks. 35 seconds left on the card. Right. Can the Canes set one magic play before it goes back to 15v15? No. Gibson's just knocked it on at the line out. Play on. Okay. How the hell was that a Brumbies knock on? Okay. I don't really understand that one. Okay. That's... I'd like to see that one again, but anyway. Let's go Brumbies, skipper. Yeah, they've been doing alright. Is that really a Brumbies hand that knocks that? Bro, does Gibson not knock that on? I don't understand. I don't understand. Jackson Garden Bishop is chubby. Oh, bro, they finally turned that one around. Okay, common sense prevails. I don't believe it. Too bad captain's challenges don't exist. Kai, I'm actually still... I would rather a scrum go the wrong way than deal with that nonsense. I hated it. It got abused. It needs to be... If they're going to use it, it needs to be like the NHL, where if you use it and you're wrong, you get punished. Because they used to do that in the NHL as well. Was just question stupid things to either kill time or... Because, like, you're going to lose anyway, so why not just go for it? Like, Yeah, that used to do my head in. If Brumbies win this, my power rankings is not going to look very good. Anyway. Trivia time and Gaz's report. Yeah, I'll send Gazza a reminder to send us a halftime report. The team are waiting on the halftime report from Gazza in a few. Right. Who's the ref? It's Nick Berry. It is Nick Berry, Junaid, mate. I think he's doing okay. He missed that one, but he got the call from the AR that it was a Brumbies knock on at the line out, but there was definitely a Canes knock on. So Canes are having butterfingers, yeah. They get one challenge in league. Okay. I know they get challenges in cricket as well, but I'm honestly not a big fan. It just, when we experimented with it here, I think they did it in the URC or the Rainbow Cup, right? Teams would just use, they were abusing it. They would just use it for any stupid thing. And it would take them ages to go find the footage. It just slows the game right down. I was not a fan. Just over 1 minute left. We are back at 15 on 15, by the way. Is there a single New Zealand ref Gazza likes? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. They stop just as much as the NFL. Too much of that, man. I'm going to reset that scrum. A Gazza ref video would be fantastic. I don't know, man. I don't know. I swear he talks more about the refs than he does about the games these days. We don't need the game to be any slower like now, Skippy. I'm all about keeping the game moving. Yes. I want these guys to be tired. So, you know, by 60, 70 minutes, the game's nice and open. Guess I should do a weekly ref power rankings. Goodness me. Oh, Canes. Scrum penalty right before half time. Surely they'll kick it and make it 16-30 in half time. URC going to trial Hawkeye technology to help the ref. Supposedly they're going to trial some ball which can tell if the passes are forward, which is long overdue. We see way too many people moaning about forward passes. And I swear some people still don't get the fact that it can go forward as long as it's backward out of the hands, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like if a guy's running full tilt, he chucks it sideways, it's still going to drift forward. It looks wrong, but it's still right. Yeah. Kickable for Geordie. It's 44 metres, but pretty much straight out in front, Junaid. So kind of bread and butter for Geordie Barrett, but we'll see. Fijian Drew came close to winning the crowd, man. Patrick was phenomenal. Absolutely. That was, I think, the first thing I said in the video yesterday was the crowd. I hope they can keep that kind of crowd up, but first week's always a bit easier. He's nailed the penalty, by the way, Junaid. So it's a 3-point game at half time. Jason, mate. Jason. How are you, sir? I went to the bakery the other day. I stopped by the library to grab a book, and I said hello to your mum. And I asked her, how's Jason? And she seemed a bit perplexed about how I know you. But there we go. Bought a carrot cake. It was good. Had a coffee when I got home. We were talking about you yesterday on the other stream. Oh, Gaza is quick off the mark with the halftime report. So why don't we play that now? I assume he's going to go straight after the ref, but I don't know. Let us find out. And then we will do some trivia in just a second.
Yeah, well, I missed the first 5 or 6 minutes of this game, but there was only penalties anyway, so it didn't say too much. G'day, Mark. G'day, McMurray. Mark, how are you, mate? And your Rugby Channel team, the subscribers. G'day, it's Gazza here. Love you guys, supporting Mark and rugby in general. And I hope you guys are staying safe and taking care and all that. And support Mark with his channel. You guys are doing really well, loyal and faithful and all the rest of it. So, hope you guys are all okay. All right, we're going to get to Nick Fury on this game. I mean, he's a bit of a wally. I mean, he's all right, but, you know, he's getting more like the New Zealand refs. I mean, he's going here and he's going there and he's not sure what he wants to do. I mean, I wish he'd be a bit more decisive. But anyway, he hasn't cost anybody really much yet. I mean, his decisions have been okay, but, you know, he's not exactly referee of the year, is he? I mean, he's a bit like the Keith Williams, maybe, Pickerel class. What am I going to give him? 5.5 out of 10, 11 out of 20.
Same as
now, that's
yesterday.
been generous. Right, now let's get to the game. I mean, the Hurricanes look dangerous, but they're dropping a lot of ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they got so many game changers. I've said to this Mark many times, if they had a decent front row, these guys could be champions, but they've got an average front row. But they've got that many game breakers on this planet, New Zealand rugby. They've got more than anyone else, and they don't know what to do with them. I mean, they're dropping a lot of ball, but I mean, they could win this game easy, but they're making hard work of it.
Easy. Bold.
Right? Sure. Right, now let's get to the Brumbies. I mean, they're clinical. They play the New Zealand style game. I really like the way they play. They got Nick White and Valentini and Banks and Wright. They got a lot of good players. Will the Brumbies win this game? They may do if the Hurricanes make a lot of mistakes, which they seem to be doing at the moment. I mean, it's pretty close at half time. I always said the market was going to be 5 to 7 points, and I still fulfill that idea. It's going to be that close. Can the Hurricanes win? Of course they can. They can win anything, these guys. But they just need to tighten up, cut the mistakes here, and get stuck in and do what they do best. You know, I mean, to be honest, these guys have got more game changers than any other New Zealand team, and probably Australia for that matter. That's how highly I rate them.
Pretty bold.
And I've told you why. So, yeah, I'm glad that this game's not bad, but, you know, the Brumbies have taken their chances. The Hurricanes have missed a few, which they always seem to do. It seems to be a Hurricane formula over the years since Christian Cullen played. They do lots of brilliant things, but then they do something really stupid and give the game away. I mean, this side and previous Hurricane sides just seem to have an epidemic of mistakes. I don't know what it is. Is it the coaches or the players? Well, we'll say the players, even though I'm not a big Jason Holland fan. He's got Corey Jane and Chris Gibbs with him. I mean, they could prove me wrong. I hope they do, but we'll see. But, you know, they're absolutely brilliant on their day. But, yeah, mistake-wise, they're quite high. Okay, last but not least, this game's going to go down to the wire unless something dramatic happens. And like I say, I like the Brumbies because they play the New Zealand style game. I still think they're the best team in Australia. Will Will they make the semis or will they make the finals? Definitely. Will they make the semis? Probably. Will they win the final? Maybe. I don't think so. But yeah, I've said that a few times. I've been wrong before too. The Hurricanes, well, as far as I'm concerned about the Hurricanes, the destiny's in their own hands. They should make the quarters, the semis if they cut the mistake rate down and concentrate and pay attention. And could they make the final? Definitely. Could they win it? Probably not, because of the way they play. Anyway, love you guys. Take care. Stay safe. Give you a full-time report, McMurray. Casamina, Roger Mania, over and out.
There we go. So he did crack onto the ref pretty early. Canes can win this game if they stop dropping the ball. Possession, the Canes have had 57%. And territory, 70, apparently. How many knock-ons have the Canes made is the question. 6-2. It is a tight game. Yeah, good, Jason, by the way, to see you. Go to see you folks. Good, always pays to check in. As you can see, I just did with the old boy. But, yeah. Oh, we've got to do trivia as well. Trivia. What else did Gaza say? Thinks the Canes can win it if they stop dropping the ball. Doesn't rate the coaches. Thinks the Brumbies play a New Zealand style game. Anyway. What do we got? It's a geography question about New Zealand. I don't think anyone's going to know this. This is not the kind of question you know off the top of your head. How long is the Waikato River? It's in kilometers. How many kilometers is it? How many kilometers is the Waikato River? It's New Zealand's biggest river. Take a guess, somebody. Or have a wee Google. Gaz is right about the ball handling. That's true. Google time. 42 kilometers. No, it's longer than that. 88. No, keep going. It's much longer than that. 234. Keep going. More. 142. No, it keeps going according to this. Apparently it's 3 digits. Oh, Ducks Quacks one is close. And Junaid's one's close. Maybe Google says 439, but the bottle cap says 425. I don't know. How long is that in the scheme of things? I feel like it's not that long. I've seen the Yangtze River in China, and that thing is enormous. That thing, the bridges across it is like 1 kilometer wide because it's massive. So, yeah, there you go. That's a bit of a random one. Yeah. I don't even know who the person is on the second bottle. It looks like it's a cricket question, I'm guessing. It's probably not that long. Yeah, I don't know. I know in the scheme of things, when I compare the Waikato to the Yangtze River's... I had to ask what the Yangtze River was when I first saw it. I was like, what is that? And they're like, it's a river. I was like, that can't be a river. I can't even see the other side. It's huge. The river in China is probably bigger than New Zealand. Yeah, basically. It's massive. It's massive. Yangtze, is that how you spell it? Yeah, but that's not how they say it in Chinese. I'm not sure where that came from. It must have come from Cantonese or something. Right, second bit of trivia. It is, I'm assuming, a cricket question. I'm going to assume it's a New Zealand cricketer because this is coming from a New Zealand bottle cap. It's a number you're going to need to guess, so give it a crack. How many, it's definitely a cricket question, how many test centuries did Brian Young score? I've never heard of him, so that maybe gives you an indication about how many it might be. How many test centuries did Brian Young score? Who's Brian Young? Sorry, New Zealand cricket. He must not be of my generation. Maybe he's before my time. Maybe he's after my time. I don't know. 3 is so close. 10 is further away. With 4 is further away. 3 is the closest guess thus far, which tells you the answer. And boom, fire, Junaid has got it with a whopping 2 test centuries. Maybe that's why I've never heard of Brian Young. 2 test centuries is not that many. It's 2 more than I've got. But, yeah, in the scheme of things, 2's not that many, is it? Yeah, Brian Young. Doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't ring a bell at all. Brian Young. Let me have a quick Google. Brian Young cricket. Oh, no, I know Brian Young. Okay, he was playing cricket when I was a young fella. I recognize his face. But I think he was pretty inconsistent. I look at his face and my first thoughts were he was pretty inconsistent. Yeah, he would have been playing when I was a kid. Okay. 2 is definitely better than nothing. Yeah. Yeah, we're often critical about athletes, about how they suck and whatnot, but they've still managed to make a professional career out of, being pretty good at sports. Patrick has no clue about cricket. You might be better off, mate, because that said test centuries, and that's the 5-day game. So 5 days, 1 game. It can get pretty entertaining in moments, but it's the kind of thing you put on in the background, and then when something happens, you look up and see what's the deal. Because, 5 days, it's a long game, cricket. Commentators are pretty key. If the commentators are entertaining, that's good. Yeah. I grew up with, Richie Beno and, who was the South African guy? Oh, there was Tony Gregg, and Bill. Who was the other guy? Those guys were funny. Although Tony was just so pro-Australian, he was kind of insufferable because the Australians were really good when he was commentating, and he loved them so much. It was kind of painful. And yeah, the New Zealand team sucked, and he would kind of call us out for sucking, which never sat that well. Yeah, Bill Laurie, that's the guy. Yeah, Bill Laurie. Yeah, those guys are classics. Yeah, those guys were classics. You need to have a good commentary team, otherwise it's a long day listening to cricket. Any bolters for the 2022 AB's squad? Who's a potential bolter? I'd like to see Lester Whainganuku in there, but for who, I don't know. I don't think Folau Fakatava is eligible yet. Sure, they bring on Aiden Morgan for Jackson Garden Bishop. Not yet. Bring him on at 60. Richie is still the most iconic commentator, and he legit called things down the middle. He was really good like that. Yeah, so I appreciated that about him. He didn't do too much bias. Right, second half is about to get underway. Richie Bennett used to call a 6 a Dorothy. I don't remember that. I have no idea why. Anyway, we've just had the whistle. Clock is ticking. Ball's in the air. Second half is underway, folks. Junaid is not sold on Havili, and he says that as a Crusaders man. Who are we thinking, folks? It's a 3-point lead to the Brumbies at half time. Are they going to see this one out, or are we seeing a Canes comeback if they can stop knocking the bloody ball on? Jonah Lowe is looking pretty deadly for the Chiefs. That's actually a fair point, yeah. Peter Gus, yeah. But who does he come in for is the thing. We got so many loosies, and Akira's back fit. Kai still reckons the Brumbies. Skippy reckons the Brumbies. Well, you're biased. We can't take the thoughts of a bush kangaroo into account here, surely. Junaid, okay, we've got a Kiwi saying Brumbies as well. So you guys really do legit think Brumbies. Canes if they sub TJ. Well, the Canes are going for the jugular in the second half. No taking shots at goal. And he says that as the guy who's not watching the game. Oh, Rayasi. Bro. What was that about the Brumbies? Holy moly. Line out moving, Rayasi. Have we even seen him? Cuts straight through. They think they're going to set the maul. Gibson with the bounce pass, and Rayasi just goes past Lolosio. And whoever the tight head is, can't remember his name. Between two defenders. There we go. Oh, I think we can probably change this to a 20 because that's right out in front. We've had a few lead changes in this game, which is, if nothing else, a wee bit pleasing. He was sleeping in the first half. Yeah, there wasn't that much of him. How's Rousey not gotten his hand on the black jersey? Who do you take out, I guess, is the question, eh? Geordie's been getting the rough treatment. I don't know what he's done. Maybe just because he's a Barrett. I might not have seen it yet. His hair's too good. I think we can all agree that Bodie has got the best do. The best lid of all the Barretts. Right, what have the Brumbies got up their sleeves here? They're in the Canes half. Here we go. Tom Banks, we haven't seen him carry that much, have we? Nick White's got to fish it out. 5 phases to the Brums. What have they got up their sleeve? I swear the crowd is actually decent, but they're pretty quiet. This is the kind of area they need to be getting in behind their boys. There's 7-8 phases inside the Canes 22. Bodie's flow, right, Gus? You feel me on that. Big V8 show, bro. How's it going in Hong Kong? Ooh, Brumbies have just dropped the ball, but they'll go back for a penalty. Yeah, Richard, this game's been alright. I still think the Valtini try is probably not going to be beaten as terms of like the best try of this game. It's a pretty high bar, but yeah, we'll see. Brumbies also not opting for 3. Usually half decent crowd in Canberra, but not loud enough bogans. Not enough bogans. Oh man. Right, what do you got, Brumbies? Maul. Oh yeah, it's a maul. 5 metre line out. It's 4 metres out. It's 3 metres out. It's 2 metres out. It's over. Hey. Pissing down in Hong Kong. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Nice day to stay home and play some guitar. That line out maul took a while to get going, but it was just going enough. It's their best weapon. They've got some good backs as well, but their maul is pretty tidy, isn't it? Yeah. Gonna go to your mate's place for dinner. Sounds like a plan. Most of the people in Canberra civil servants, maybe, eh? Lolosio has pushed it wide, so it's a 1-point lead. Let's update this. Thoughts on the penalty try plus yellow card that refs gives nowadays? Should it just be one punishment or is both justified? It's a good question. I haven't really given it much thought. I guess they want it to be maximum deterrent to stop teams doing it, but we still see it a ton, don't we? It's not like it's rare. Kai, nah, bro, you're all good. Keep at it. Love it. Have New Zealand teams dropped in form, or did the Aussie teams bring their A game? Big V8 show. It could be a bit of both. I do think we've seen an unusual amount of drop ball from the Kiwi teams, but part of that comes from defensive pressure. Some of it's just legit skills errors. And Geordie's just kicked out on the full. That was an unforced error. Yeah, like Richard says, they're a bit loose. Bit loose. Skippy says combo both. Yeah, I agree, man. It's been pleasing that there's not be like an epic gap. God, Geordie's got a terrible haircut. Oh my goodness. No wonder he dropped that ball. If I was the ball, I wouldn't want to go near that thing either. Usually associate the Hurricanes attack with ball in hand instead of this kicking, eh? Yeah, true. Oh, yeah, true, because I am, like Junaid says, because I stream the games legally, of course. I'm usually behind the broadcast, so you probably see stuff before I do by a good half a minute, usually. JP with a literal mop on his head. Jason, bro, what is the deal? Your mum, I've met your mum at the bakery. Your mum wouldn't let you out the house with that thing on your head. Surely not. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Jerome Brown, he's gone over. Bro, what a try. What a try. The composure, was that right to just hold the ball up and then Brown to just wait from the scrum? Bro, that was well worked. Inside ball, Simone, he gets caught by Gibson, but he holds the ball just long enough. Wow, good stuff. Brumbies try, Junaid. Yeah, man, they had a scrum. Simone got the ball, dummied and beat his man. Got the ball to Tom Wright, who just got caught literally by the shirt by Blake Gibson, but he just popped the ball to Jerome Brown, who stepped Geordie Barrett, who had too much to do anyway, and he's over. He's nailed that one. So it is a 2-score game. Just barely, but it is. Good try, ultimately. Yeah. Right. What do we do here? Hurricanes are bringing some changes. Don't blame them. Next time I see a stoppage, I might have to go turn the light on because it's starting to get pretty dark. Big tackle from, was that Simone? Ikitau. No, Ikitau's the ball carrier. Maybe it was Simone. Oh, Simone with the worst kick you have ever seen. That was shocking. White's kick almost went there. I don't know what's going on here, Junaid, mate. Sorry. There was a terrible kick. Then Nick White put a kick through, which the Canes probably could have let go dead. Now the Canes are stuck in there in 22 trying to exit. Goodness me. Pick a team to come from behind to win. Yeah, the Canes can certainly come back from 8 points. Garden Bishop with the smooth moves. Composure, but nope. Canes have coughed it up again. Jason Holland's going to be tearing his hair out. That's going to be too big. Oh, what a perfect kick. That was that far from going dead. Okay. I'm going to go turn the light on. It's getting too dark. Jonathan Thurston from Lolosio. Pinpoint accurate stuff, you reckon? Oh, man. Okay. Garden Bishop probably does need to come off now. Was it you that asked about it earlier, Kai? I think he needs to come off now. I said give him until 60. It's 57. He's just kicked the goal line dropout out on the full, so, yeah. TJ's off, so nice food takeaways. Call. This may be the start of the Hurricanes' comeback. Yeah, the commentators have mentioned as well. Same with Skippy. I've never seen a goal line dropout kicked out on the full. So it's a line out 5 meters out. It's a good attacking opportunity for the Brumbies. Do they maul it or do they have some fancy move? I will say maul. And I am correct. Gibson's all over on the floor, so it's advantage. The maul has collapsed, but then Faianka is a meter out. Nick White rips it wide. Try time. Boomfa! That's a pretty costly error from the Canes, but punishing play from the Brumbies. Wow. Brumbies are looking the business. Canes are getting smashed. Tom Banks just had to put it down. $33.20 conversion to come. Time check, Junaid, 57.22. Still loads of game time, but yeah. Lolosio needs to get this conversion because it's 13 points at the moment. It's 15 points if he gets it. That was the direct result of the dropout. Exactly right, mate, Jason. Exactly right. Come on, Noah. You got to get this one, mate. Important kick. Oh, he's got it. It looked like it was going to drift wide, but no, it's straightened. 35-20. TJ on the bench is not looking a happy chappy. Morgan is on for Jackson Garden Bishop, whose last act of the game will be that dropout on the full. And yep, Kai, it's a 3-score game. So the Hurricanes have got it all to do, but in 20 minutes, it's very doable. Oh, we've got a bot. Bro, we haven't had a bot for ages. Canes have messed us up with their ball handling and the kick in. It's left a bit to be desired. This is true. I think it was Janae who deleted it, mate. I can't do it on this current streaming one I'm using, so thank goodness for Janae. They smashed it. I can hear my kids walking around. They probably want their dinner. Yeah, it used to be Love Face. But we got all the Love Faces blocked. Now it's Best Cams. Here we go. The Canes passes are actually sticking now. 9 phases. Rayasi keeps the ball alive. And it's a Brumbies penalty. I'm starting to believe, folks, that the Brumbies are going to get this done. Not that I was ever doubtful. I picked them in my Super Brew, but yeah. Hurricanes are chasing the game. I think my missus has got the kids cleaning the room because I can hear toys getting chucked around. That's why we keep Sinead around. Yep. Not just that reason, though, I meant. I swear my son wonders why half his toys get broken, but then when he puts them away, he just throws everything. Anyway. Janae, do we dare ask where you are and why you're not sitting in front of a TV watching the rugby? It's another Canes error. Goodness me. Rayasi drops it. Geordie knocks it on. Bro, if you're the Canes coach, you're pulling your hair out right now. Goodness me. Not used to the sun, maybe. They hardly ever play afternoon games anymore, eh? It's always night games. We found out which Canes team has shown up. Is it the team which beat the Blues or the one that lost to Moana Pacifica? So far it's looking like the latter. Geordie's having a shocker. Yeah. Canes were competitive until 50 minutes and they started dropping off a cliff. They're a bit of a frustrating watch at the moment, I'll tell you that much. I'm not even a Canes fan, but still, goodness me. Aussie Nines have all played amazing this weekend, even the Melbourne fella. Yeah, actually. Aussie are pretty stacked with halfbacks at the moment, eh? That's good news. Simon, you're still with us. The Savias, I mean, Artie has been present. Julian's only had a couple of carries that I've remembered. Imagine that game with the Drua next week for the Canes. The Drua, I think, are a better team than their record suggests. I'm just not bothered typing too much Marfa. Fair enough. How is your Chinese now, by the way, Simon? Bit off topic, but still. Right, your man Savia, Junaid, just had a big carry down the wing and was pushed into touch. And he's saying came off a Brumbies player. Or maybe he's saying it was a shoulder charge. It was Muirhead. It was Muirhead. Maybe it's the other guy that was Banksy. Upright again. The bus has converted to green energy. That's what his coach at Toulon pretty much suggested. The Drew are a pretty terrifying team. Yeah. They can be a wee bit one-dimensional, but man, they are a tough team. Bro, Tom Banks with your upright tackles, man. He didn't learn from getting his face fractured. But still, nothing comes of it. Anyway. He wasn't looking to bend in on his push of Julian Savia into touch anyway. Don't know, last night was for my daughter's birthday. No more beers. Oh, what?差不多没用中文课就是复 You just copy your students. Okay, fair enough. Is that 复制? Oh, here's try time. That one almost seemed too easy. How long left, Vanna, mate? We are at 65.51. Proctor gets it to Rayasi. Rayasi beats right. That's pretty soft defense, actually, but good hands. Okay, fair enough. It's a good word for me to learn. Copy and paste. Don't know if I know how to say those in Chinese. Junaid, it was a try for the Canes. Billy Proctor. Nice 1-2 with Rayasi. How long did it take to learn Chinese? I don't know. I studied it a bit at uni and then I went there. So it takes a while. But it's not as hard as it gets made out to be. The characters just kind of suck. Because you got to remember them all. The grammar's pretty sweet. Oh, Geordie's missed the conversion, so it's still a 10-pointer. Fudra might not be accurate. Okay, I'll make inquiries. My students' Chinese is really bad too, so I often learn bad habits. How does that work? I just need to keep it calm. Yeah, 10 points, still a solid lead, but 12 minutes to go. Still anything can happen. It's easy to learn to speak. It's just every character has a picture, tone, and pronunciation to learn. So it's triple. Yeah, that's kind of a pain in the backside. Although sometimes if you learn one character, or like there's one part of a character that'll appear in multiple characters, so often the pronunciation will all be kind of similar. Sometimes it's a bit of a... Anyway, speaking is fine. Most of the Cantonese... Ah, right, that makes sense then. So their Mandarin's not great. If you move to Taiwan, Simon, you'll be in store for some traditional characters, which will be even harder. Right, this is an important phase for the Brumbies, man. 11 minutes to go, you're 8 phases, you're in the Canes half. But they've lost it. Okay. Artie forced that turnover. Artie's always busy, eh? Canes can get tries out of nowhere. We've seen them do it to my Blues from the dead, basically. And yeah, Sinead, Artie stepping up is kind of unsurprising. We are at 70 minutes now. So, 10 minutes. We could be in for another blockbusting finish. You don't want to be giving the Canes the ball. Yeah, Kai, I think we can agree with that. They're pretty dangerous anywhere. You know, when people immigrate here, they consider Kiwis, but apparently know how long you live in Asia. You are never considered part of them. Okay, that might be true, I think, yeah. But also I noticed when I was in China, if I speak any Chinese, people are like, bro, good effort, man. You're doing good. Even if my Chinese was terrible, they would still encourage me and be nice. Whereas here, we're kind of not as encouraging to people whose English ain't the best anyway. Blues Brumbies is going to be a cracker. I think we got the Rebels next week, though. Still a fair bit of rugby to be played, but yeah, for sure. Victoria, you're up. There's 9 minutes to go in this game. Your team is chasing it. They need to do another effort that they did against my Blues. Yeah, Big V8 show is in exactly that situation. So he'll be able to speak to it more than anybody else. Maybe Simon as well. We're down to the last pretty much 8 minutes, folks. But the Canes have got the ball. They're in the Brumbies half. If they score any time in the next 5 or so minutes, it's absolutely game on. Oh, almost an intercept. It's a knock on. Was that a Falcon? Double knock on. We're the largest French community here, and they formed their own bubble in the foreign bubble in Hong Kong. Nice. I guess that's a linguistic thing. When I was in China, I usually hung out with Americans and South Africans and Canadians and stuff. So yeah, I can also speak from that experience. Clock has stopped. 10 minutes to go. Ten minutes to go, did I just say? 8 minutes to go. 10-point difference. Yeah, team, let's get moving. I want to have my dinner. One of the Brumbies coaches taking notes in the background is left-handed. That's about as much as is going on at the moment. Ed Morgan just needs to dig a little bit deeper into the line. He's got the ability for sure. There's a neighborhood here called Stanley, and even one of my French friends described as a French ghetto. I need to come to Hong Kong one day to actually understand that. I feel like it's too different from the mainland for me to have that much understanding of it, eh? Right, time is back on. In France, my social circle is really starting to mix. I got my expat friends, support more French friends. Only foreign rugby team that's doing really well. That's good, Victoria. I should have done more of that when I was in China, to be honest. I did hang out with the Chinese mates and workmates a bit, but not as much as my Aussie and Canadian stuff mates. Wow, Brumbies have just won a turnover on their own 22. Well done. Brumbies needed that. Yeah, you can feel the momentum, Skippy, mate. Slowly just kind of pushing towards the Canes. Brumbies are kind of on defensive mode. Who made the tackle on Barrett? I missed the number, mate. And the Brumbies win their line out, which is equally important. Brumbies are happy to go a phase in their own half. I think maybe we were expecting a kick there, but nope. Six minutes to go. We're going to have advantage. Every second that ticks by is edging closer for the Brumbies. I'm part French, have a French name, so French people assume I can speak French, and when I can't, they give you a dirty look. Bro, when I was in China, there was a guy working with me who was, I think his parents were from Hong Kong. So he looked Chinese, but he spoke like the most posh English. He was like from some rich area in London. I saw when we had a look on I think Google Earth might have been new then. We looked on Google Earth where his house was, and it was a pretty big freaking house. We would go out to order food, and I would be the one ordering the food in Chinese, and people would look at him like, bro, why aren't you talking? And then he would try to speak to them in English, and just, yeah, their minds would just, yeah, the poshness was real. Right, here we go. If the Canes concede here, it's definitely game over. It's not quite over yet, but it's getting pretty close. Less than 5 minutes to go. The Canes are just outside their own 22. Brumbies are going like 5 phases. Nothing more gutting than a French dirty look. I don't know. I have had a French dirty look, actually. Yeah, you're right. And it's pretty gutting. I was pretty ravaged. Bounce pass. Tom Wright. Tom Banks. Here we go, 10 phases. Surely the Brumbies are going to score here. Valtini, man, he's strong. They're a metre out. They're going to win this game, the Brumbies. You can probably put the mortgage on it. Oh no, Rousey's going to the bin for that one. Jason reckons it's game over. I also think it's probably game over. Wonder if the Brumbies guys are going to get in trouble for taking him out. That's going to be a yellow card. Right. I've already written down that it's a yellow card, so you can give it, Nick. Very glad you didn't get up at 6 a.m. Victoria. Yeah, you probably made the right call. Should it be a penalty try? Tom Wright is pretty much in the open. I can't imagine anybody... It's a yellow card, but no penalty try. Artie does have a point because Rousey may have been able to regather it, but he was taken out. So, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a difference maker in this game anyway. But this should be game over, folks. Oh, Gus, bro. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. Always helps watching these games with a bit of company. Thank you, mate. Too kind, sir. Canes are their own worst enemies. Yeah, the review on Monday is not going to be the best for them, I would imagine. Rousey would have got that dime, yeah. I do feel like the ref probably needed to talk through that point, but they didn't even bother. They just said deliberate knock on. There we go. Loose ball, Brumbies pounce. That's going to be game. Darwin doubts he would have been able to gather it. Yeah, I still think it's worth a conversation. I don't think the ref mentioned it at all. But the way the game is ref these days, generally, if you go at the ball one-handed, you're... Oh, no! He's lost that, surely. If you don't get it, you are probably going to get yellow carded. That's just the way it's ruled. I think he's lost that. He's lost it before he's able to get it over the line. They're going to give that one. Okay, fair enough. I thought he lost it. What do I know? I think that one's a bit dodgy. Crichton. I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't think it makes a difference, but bro, that one... He lost that one, right? He lost that one. That's a knock on. No? And the conversion's coming. How's that a try? I don't know. I can live with most of the stuff, and again, it doesn't make a huge difference, but yeah, that one's a bit fortuitous. That soured the game a bit, yeah. I mean, I know the Rayasi one is probably a yellow card by the way they ref the games, because as I said, anytime you go for a ball one-handed, don't get it, you carded. Apart from in the Women's Six Nations when they didn't do that. I do feel like the ref needed to at least discuss with the TMO or whatever, mention it briefly. Do we need to talk about him getting hit that prevents him from being able to gather the ball? It's worth at least a one-line discussion. At least saying, nah, I don't think it's going to make a difference. Okay. And then that knock on. Come on, he lost control of that, surely. Not a bad result for the Aussie teams, Jason. Bro, you're right. Canes are just going to kick it out, or they're going to keep playing? Crazy, mate. What happened to your boys? And the Canes finish the game with a knock on. They finished the game with a knock on. That's kind of fitting. Anyway, there we go. 42-25. That's a hiding. Isn't it? Good result for the Brumbies. 3 wins for the Aussie teams is good stuff. Absolutely. Yeah, happy days. Good to see some competitive Super Rugby. We will see how things go next week. Remember, all the games this week were either in Australia or Fiji. So just putting that out there. We need to see some New Zealand teams at home as well. But no, I'm really pleased to see competitive games. I certainly don't like watching walkovers. So yeah, happy times. Cheers, folks, for coming along. I am going to open that door over there, which you can't see because my kids are patiently awaiting their dinner, as am I. So we'll do that. I will certainly stream a game or two next week, Kai, mate. We'll see which ones we can get across the line. But, yeah, cheers for coming along. It's always a bit of fun. And, yeah, we'll catch you guys again, hopefully, for another one. Yeah, as I said, next week. Next week, folks. Take care. See you guys.